Today, I'm going to speak to you about education. When I was in the 8th grade, I watched a high school graduation ceremony, and I saw these students graduate in white gowns and blue gowns. I learned that those in white were honor students, and I was determined at that time that I was going to graduate in white when I walked that line. 4 years later, I did that. I also received a prestigious scholarship and was able to go to the college of my dreams. But after 1 year, I quit. I wasn't prepared, not intellectually, but emotionally. I came home, I started working, I got married, and I had a family. Life happened. Today, I've returned to college. And in my first semester back in over 10 years, a lot has changed. Technology has advanced. I'm going to discuss education, its importance, why it matters, and my goal is to persuade you to stay in school and get an education. I'm going to tell you why education is key in the Central Valley and explain why you need to have courage to see it through. And I will offer you some tips of how you can reach your goals. Education is basically learning by gaining knowledge, skills, and understanding. However, learning is no longer confined to the classroom. There is online education, and many classes are available online. And of course, there's always the school of hard knocks, commonly referred to as life. But why should you get a formal education? Mike Rose, professor of education at UCLA, in the book Why School, says that the value of college extends beyond a paycheck. How many of you agree with that statement? Raise your hand. Well, I can see from your response that you believe that. However, education is the idea of intellectual growth. Not just learning things to make a living, but also learning things to enable you to do things with your life, to find interests and pursuits that may in some way or another expand the way that we see things. Mr. Rose also says the social benefits allow us to learn to think and how to attack problems together, and we also learn how to disagree. So what does this mean? Every individual has their own interpretation of this success, realizing their dream of an education. Have you arrived at your education level? What will that education obtain for you? Well, as I started to think about this, I looked at why education is key in the Central Valley. And I learned that according to the 2012 U.S. Census, the individuals with a bachelor's degree or higher in education is 12.4%, compared to the entire state of California at 30.5%. I also looked at the unemployment rate, and in March of 2014, according to the Employment Development Department website, it was 14.7%. There was also a recent study done by the Public Policy Institute of California, and this study showed that California faces a skills gap. The PPIC estimates that by the year 2025, if current trends persist, 41% of all jobs will require at least a bachelor's degree. At the rate that we are receiving higher education, in 2025, only 35% of the state's populace will have obtained a degree. This amounts to a skills gap for approximately 1 million people. That's huge, and that is only 11 years away. Did you ever think that one day you would become who you are? What or who has given you what you need to succeed? Well, I believe we all need courage. I found the definition of courage in Merriam-Webster.com. It is the ability to do something that you know is difficult or dangerous, or having mental or moral strength to venture, persevere, and withstand danger, fear, or difficulty. I have a much simpler definition of courage. It's your will. It's your will to do something. Many times, that means that you have to set goals, short-term, long-term goals, to be able to reach the ultimate goal. Have you ever considered what helps keep you on track? I believe that the single most important thing to do to meet your goal is to have good time management. I'm going to give you a few tips that I found on time management on lifehack.org. First, start by creating a daily plan. Use a calendar, because a calendar is important in managing your daily activities. Log your deadlines into it. I'm a natural planner. I have weeks and months of appointments and deadlines logged so that I can have it all under control. Today, it's very easy to do this using technology, smartphones, tablets, computers. You can also set yourself reminders for your deadlines. Here's one that I have trouble with: learning to say no. No, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I have a deadline to meet. What distracts you? I've noticed that with young adults, distraction has another name. It's called social media. Eliminate these time wasters. Finally, never wait to the last minute. Put in some contingency time. Give yourself some wiggle room. What if you get sick or something unexpected comes up? I assure you that following some or all of these tips will help you to better manage your time. Another thing, practice telling yourself I will statements. I will do my work. I will not go out with my friends. I will not check my social media until I have completed reading this assignment or until I write 3 pages of my report. Then take a break because you deserve it. I recently lost my job, and as I've already mentioned, I have been back in school for a few months. But I have no higher education background, and now I need to look for employment. Even though I have over 20 years of working experience, do you know how difficult it's going to be to compete in a market where unemployment rates are double-digit in our county and the economy is not stable? Those applicants who have an education background to meet the job requirements will be given priority. I have experience, but it doesn't count for anything against the qualifications of a degree. On the other hand, my son graduated last June from college, and I'm very proud of him. He's worked very hard, but for the last 6 months, he's been submitting job applications and going on interviews. He finally got a job. That is what an education will do for you. Prospective employers will look at your credentials and give you a chance to show what you can do. A formal education will get you opportunities. It has always been my greatest desire to learn. I am a scholar at heart, and I never stopped learning. I still discovered the world out there. I absorbed what I could from books. If you have dreams, anything is possible. Nothing is impossible. Audrey Hepburn has a quote that says, "The word itself says, I'm possible." Are you willing to take a chance on yourself? Are you possibly willing to see this through? You are never too old to go back to school. As I have done, I am taking a chance on me, and yes, I am willing to see this through. It may sound cliche, but hard work, determination, and perseverance are part of having courage. No one can do it for you. You need to be able to say to yourself, I will do this. I will do this for me. Education is key. Education is for me. Education is for you, if you have the courage to see it through. I hope you see it through. If you do, when you open your eyes, a world of possibilities awaits you.